You're tuned into the YAAACE Time podcast.
All right, so welcome back to another YAAACE Time episode. I am here with both Coach Blackwood, Chris Blackwood, and Brooklyn, and we're going to be talking about a couple of things regarding Teal Wars Peace Project. But before we even get to that, I just want to get a small introduction of the both of you. So I guess, Brooklyn, you want to start?
Yes. So I'm Brooklyn, the program lead for Towards Peace.
I'm Chris Blackwood, a violence disruptor worker for Towards Peace.
Okay, that's all right. I mean, that's straightforward. All right, so tell me about how you got into it. Basically, how did you guys start this?
Well, I've been coaching at YAAACE now for almost 3 years, I think, 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
I think the organization knows that I do a lot of community work outside of the community, outside of YAAACE, in the community of Jane and Finch, from basketball tournaments to mentoring to a little bit of everything. And the opportunity presented itself. One thing I always try to do, and I'm still, trying to do, is build a bridge between the north side and the south side.
Yeah.
Just knowing that I got friends from north side. I got friends from the south side. I'm originally from the south side of Jane and Finch. And I kind of got my nickname from the north side of Jane and Finch. So there's a tie. I like to say I'm Finch, right? So the last 10 years, maybe, the rivalry has been very, very, very deep, So really trying to bridge that gap, man, using basketball as an engagement tool. And the opportunity presented itself to me to be part of this movement. And I took it.
All right, that's it.
Yeah,
it's really good. So,
basically the same. I've been working in my community for quite some time. I used to work for the city of Toronto Boys and Girls Club, and I always told myself, and I always told them, whenever I wanted to work, I always wanted to work in priority neighborhoods. That's what they call our hoods.
Yeah,
they call them priority neighborhoods. So I always try to make sure that I worked in various areas so I can get familiar with the people, because at the end of the day, I want to be able to help not only my community but other communities as well, right? So when they said that this project was coming about in Jane and Finch and Rexdale, and I was told to apply for the job, I was like, all right, copy, of course I'm gonna apply, you know what I mean? Because I feel like something like what Towards Peace provides is something that Jane and Finch and Rexdale really, really, really needed. So yeah.
So what do you think the main goal is, other than bringing the North and the South together? What's the main goal that you guys are striving for?
You want to go?
Oh, for me personally, it's just one, bringing down the gun violence in the community. Two, just providing resources, man. Like a lot of these individuals, they got so much ideas. You know what I'm saying? And instead of them channeling it into illegal activities or just building it all up into aggression and just going ham on the opposing side, take that energy and all that effort into something legal, So just trying to help them achieve whatever goal they have. You know what I'm saying? Any goal they have that's legal. Yeah,
Well, yeah, of course.
The fact that he keeps stressing that legal.
That is legal. We are, and now I have a platform to help them do so. In regards to achieving it.
Yeah,
can't go wrong, man. That's one of the objectives for myself.
That's a fact. And just providing them with better outlets and resources and opportunities. That's what Towards Peace is about, right?
Yeah,
changing the narrative of Jane and Finch from a negative to a positive. That's what we're trying to do, not only in Jane and Finch, but in all areas. And we're starting with the two main hoods that everybody knows about, which is Jane and Finch and Rexdale, right? So one thing that I can say is that the VDWs that I have that are on the team, so we have violence disruptor workers that are on the north side and the south side. So what we did was we sat with the VDW sat down with each other, obviously the north side and south side. And everybody, one thing I liked about it is that everybody knew there was one goal, which was changing the narrative of our community. So everybody understood that at the end of the day, we're putting whatever political or any street drama, we're putting that all to the side, and our main goal is to help both communities. So how can we do that? So that's what Towards Peace is about, by providing opportunities not only for the youth but for their families as well. And that's something that a lot of organizations don't really do. They focus only on the youth, but with us, we focus on the youth and their families, because we realize that it starts from somewhere, right? So we have to get to the root of the problem. And if we take a young man or young woman out of a situation and place them back into a negative situation, what is that doing? It's not doing anything, right? So we have to make sure that their foundation, their household is straight first before we can actually move on to build anything type stuff.
You think it would be better if you, or what do you think is a good point in order to start building someone's character when doing this TO wards? Do you think it should start childhood, or do you think it could start at any time? What do you think the best time to start at attacking, I guess?
We with Towards Peace, the generations are different, right? Because the generation we come from, we know what time it is. We know there's codes to certain things. You're not supposed to do all that type of stuff. This generation is different, so you have to kind of move accordingly. Which each family and each person that we deal with, each client or cohorts that we deal with, we deal with them all differently, because not everybody's the same. So we approach every situation differently and every family differently and accordingly. And that's and we actually ask them what they need opposed to what we feel they want. You get me? So at the end of the day, we're not giving them a pamphlet and saying, here, go to the resource center. No, we're sitting down with you. We're creating a structure. We're creating a plan. We're doing all these things to make sure, a safety plan, all of that, to make sure that you're good. So if you want to touch.
No, you pretty much nailed it right there, man. At the end of the day, the most important thing is, trying to meet them where they're at, develop a rapport with them. I think that's the most important thing, man. Just getting to know the person you're dealing with, and once that rapport is built, the sky's the limit, really.
Facts.
What do you think the most difficult part about that is, though? Definitely towards, I guess, trying to, have them view you as a positive figure. With that trust, how do you think like the difficulty ways for every person?
You got to have patience, and with this position as a VDW, you got to be patient. You have ideas for them. When I say them, I mean your client, but you just got to meet them where they're at and just trust the fact that you're doing something positive. I say that to say, like, yo, when I'm dealing with somebody, mind you, they're dealing with some form of trauma already.
Of course. You
know what I'm saying? So it's like, when I'm talking to them or I'm trying to feel them out in regards to what kind of intervention they need or whatever the case may be, bro, I got to take my time with them, man. How you doing? How you feeling? You're going to have conversations like that maybe 4 or 5 times when you're meeting them, like back to back to back.
Yeah.
And then that 6th day or that 6th time you meet them, then they're going to open up saying, I had a horrible day or whatever. And you can build off of that, So I always tell everybody, just be patient. Just be patient to build that rapport, because it could take a minute or it can take 7 days. You know what I mean? So just be patient. Just be patient, man.
And I tell people all the time, youth can tell ops as they call them, ops from a mile away. They can tell when you're being real. They can tell when you're being fake. They can tell when you're being genuine, and they can tell when you're just bullshit. Excuse my French, you're just BSing to you know what I mean, for the job. You get me? And because we have lived experience, that's something that played a major factor with us getting hired, was that we had so much lived experience already that at the end of the day, as people would say, sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know, right? So it's, in our case, it's not only what we know, but who we know. Like, who are the outside agencies that we're connected to, or who are the outside plugs that we're connected to that would be able to assist our clients in ways that would benefit not only the organization, but also them as well, right? So that's basically what we do. And like he said, it's about building that rapport. Some of them open up right away because a lot of these kids already did research on you and asked about you, like, yo, I heard about Woods, yo, what do you know? Or I heard about Brooklyn, da-da-da. So they did their research already on you. Like how we did our research on them, they do the same thing. So they'll know, yo, I heard about you. How many times have you heard them say, yo, I heard about you?
You get that line
the man them told me about, or so-and-so told me about you. So when you start getting that, it's easier because they already know you're good peoples. So from your good peoples, it's easy for you to get in where you fit in.
Right.
Okay, got that. So what success stories do you think stand out the most?
I mean, they're piling up. I'm starting. They're starting to pile up over here, man. There's two that really stand out to me right now. One, I have a client or cohort client that I'm working with. And his brother passed in front of him, like got killed in front of him. And, I was like, yo, how can I help deactivate the demon? Because if I ever seen my brother get killed in front of me, who knows where my head will take me? You know what I mean? So who knows where his head was at the time. Luckily, the connection was made. His brother who passed wanted to start a clothing line. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the beautiful thing is, the big bro who seen his little bro get killed, him and his best friend kept that legacy going by starting the clothing line, and we helped him with that. You know what I mean? So I just seen them post. They just added me on Instagram, the actual clothing line, the brand. It's out. You know what I mean? So I thought that was super dope, because he could have went totally left. You feel me? And it keeps him busy. He's still grieving, but he knows he's doing something for his little bro. You know what I mean? So, and it's something the family's jumping onto. So it's they have their own way of grieving, but at least they have something of their son and their brother that they could fall back on and build. So that was super dope. I love that. That's something big for me. And second, one of my clients just got into a program at STC. I forgot the name of it, but it's more so of a trades program. You know what I mean? So he's 12 weeks. I think he's 3 weeks in already. He's getting paid for it. He's learning about the different trades, drywall and all that. So hopefully, that's where the money is at right now. I'm telling everybody, work with your hands, man. You know what I mean? The way AI is moving. You feel me? But long story short, he's already in. He's loving it. He could have went left as well. You know what I mean? So those stories right now. I know there's more to come with other clients that I'm working with, but those two kind of stand out right now. Just because they could have went left. Real quick with what they're dealing with. Yeah.
What about you?
There's a lot of them, but one really stood out was a young lady. She came up from, I believe it was Trinidad or one of those countries, and she was having a difficult time. And she was dealing with a lot at home, and she wanted to give up, and we stuck by her. She graduated from high school. Not only that, we helped her get into a program called Whiteboard Collective, which is part of the Pinball's collection. Is it collection?
Pinball Collective Foundation.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Pinball Foundation. Okay, so Pinball Foundation. She's part of that. And then with that came, she was part of their bursary program. So she got a scholarship to help her and bursaries to help her with school. And then now she's, with the help of Jordan that used to work here. She might be working at Joey's. So that's another thing, you know what I mean, that we're working on as well. So she's really excited. And the fact that she stayed on the right path, and, she could have turned around and did anything. But as a young woman, it's hard. You know what I mean? It's really hard. So I'm happy to see that.
So we all know that Jane and Finch, predominantly Black, marginalized neighborhood of Toronto, of course. So how exactly do you guys specifically tailor to the needs of our people?
We tailor to our people by going out there, out in the field, and finding out what is it that our people want. We can't change anything if we don't know what you want. We're going directly to the sources themselves, like what they said. We're getting it straight from you guys. Like we're not going to come to you with programs or certain resources if you don't need it. That's crazy. That's what a lot of agencies have been doing, and we're trying hard not to do that. I'm not saying that we're perfect, but obviously we're trying very hard not to do that.
How do you guys differentiate between that though? Because I feel like sometimes when people notice that positive people are helping, they try to take advantage of that. I feel like sometimes. So is there ways that you guys differentiate between the two of, these people genuinely need help compared to these people want these resources?
Sometimes, for me personally, sometimes you get finessed. You know what I mean? It happens. It's part of the game. Guys or girls will come in and
give you a sob
They'll
story.
give you a sob story, and then you take them in, and then as the weeks go by, you kind of realize
they're finessing.
All right, they're finessing. And you just slowly, put them on pause. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's folks that need the help. Mm-hmm. You kind of got to weed it out, like, you know what I mean? There's going to be people that don't need the help, and there's going to be people that need the help. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's just your job to figure out who needs it at the end of the day. But the truth will come out with their story. You'll know who's finessing from who's not, and then you take it from there. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. And they usually tell on themselves too.
Exactly.
Right? So it's just like, if you really need the help and we're reaching out to you and you're going MIA, or you're not answering, you're doing these things. Yeah. Clearly you don't need that much help as much as you say that you, or sometimes let me stop. It could also be that, people go through things as well, right?
Yeah,
but
of course.
We usually can tell the finessers by like the first week or so.
And shout out the other grassroots organizations in the community that kind of give me and Brooklyn like the heads up on who's finessing.
Yeah, that's a fact. Shout out to Black Creek.
Shout out to Boys and Girls Club, Jane and Finch. Like, you got some pillars in the community that would let us know about a resident that is finessing. You know what I mean? Or just trying to take advantage of what we're trying to offer. So,
And for real, shout out to the Boys and Girls Club, Risa over there. She's really amazing. Like, she took in some of our, she took in a couple of our youth last year out of nowhere to give them jobs and things of that nature. She's always so helpful when it comes to the volunteering and things of that nature. So any youth that need volunteering, holler at me, because she's
on both sides.
She's on both sides, North and South.
Jane and Finch Boys and Girls Club in North and South side, so it works out perfect.
And Black Creek is they're helping us too. Shout out to Black Creek as well.
Most definitely.
So how should people get in touch with you then if they're trying to if they need help from people like you?
They could come here to 45 North Finch, you know what I mean? Come directly. We're here Monday to Friday. They could follow us on Instagram. They could they can shoot us a DM. They could
send us an email.
Phone number is always out. You know what I mean?
They can also go on the City of Toronto website as well. There's a Towards Peace section if they want to know more information about Towards Peace. And if they have any referrals and things of that nature, it's mostly for people who's been incarcerated, been associated or affiliated with gangs, been involved in gun violence, whether you were a victim or the opposite. Right. We also deal with trauma as well. So it's not only for people who's been shot at or or things of that nature. It's like I said, we're here to help the community because it starts with somewhere. It starts somewhere, right? Yeah. Because it's like he said, if you've seen your brother get shot, you're gonna need help. And one thing I can say about a lot of these youth that are part of our program, they're actually sitting down with counselors. Shout out to Greg.
I mean, and I think
he's taken on a whole lot. So shout out to Greg and Sally.
And Sally as well. I think that kind of separates us a bit from the other organizations as well, because we have that type of resource on site
right away.
You know what I mean? So that's shout out to that. I think that's something I've never seen before.
And that's an hour of you sitting down, confidential. It's confidential. We don't know unless you're going to harm yourself or harm others. That's the only way it has to be reported. But other than that, whatever you sit down and speak to about them, with them, we don't know about that. So a lot of clients have been feeling very comfortable seeing Greg. So Greg's been taking on a whole lot, but it's been actually helping.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna just kind of lean away. So what are you guys' views on the term therapy versus what you thought it was before, if it was a necessity or not, and what you guys think it is now? Because I feel like nowadays therapy is like taken as like a negative connotation.
I think just the term therapy. I think that just throws everything off. I mean, I think I don't even know what to call it. If we can just call it X for now, like, you know what I mean? Just going to X kind of clears your mind when you get a chance to really let stuff off your chest. You know what I mean? Really talk about how you're feeling. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's all you need to do, sometimes, just to continue your journey. You know what I mean? Just listening and being heard. And then, someone providing advice, you know what I mean, that you don't have to take, but it could help out with the situation that you're in. It's kind of it is kind of therapeutic, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't know why they're I think maybe when you hear about therapy, you just think negative, you know what I mean? But no, I think it's super dope, man. It really helps you relax.
Yeah, our culture, you are like saying you're gonna go sit down with a therapist. That's a no. That's a I'm not sitting down with nobody, whatever. And then on top of that, it's sitting across from somebody who doesn't look like you. That's another thing that played a major role. So we have the benefits of having somebody that looks like one of us.
Yeah.
So sitting down with somebody that looks like you is like your uncle. And with, like I said, with Greg, he doesn't make it seem like it's a therapy or a interview. It's more of a conversation. How you doing? Like the way he does it, the way that him and Sally do it, it doesn't make you feel like you're in a therapy session.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel like when people come into it, when they first hear, we use the word counsel instead of therapy. So would you like to sit down with a counselor? Because there's counselors everywhere at your school, all these type of stuff. So a lot of people feel more comfortable with the word counselor.
Yeah.
So or mentor. You can sit down with your mentor, whatever you feel comfortable calling Greg at that moment. Yeah, you call him at that moment. That makes you feel comfortable. But therapy, it's when you're younger. Who are you supposed to talk to? You talk to my therapy was my cousins. Like that was my therapy was my family. Like, like you get what I mean? Like sitting across from somebody with a book in his hand and what you see on TV, bro. No, I'm not.
Yeah, my therapy was just playing ball.
Yeah, you see, everybody deals with therapy differently. It's like grieving. Everyone grieves differently. Therapy is different. His therapy is basketball. My therapy is kicking it with my fam and talking smack.
Yeah. No, because I feel like when you have that community around you, you always have that sense of therapy. But it comes to a point where when you go look on TV, it feels like it's more of like you have a mental problem that you need someone to solve or help solve with you. And I feel like when that gets brought up, you look at yourself and you're like, okay, well, now I feel some type of way because there's nothing wrong with me. Right. And I feel like everyone has that. There's nothing wrong with me inside of them, especially when you've been through a certain amount of trauma and you deal with it, or you thought you dealt with it. Right. And then you feel like, I don't need this anymore. Right. When in actuality, you kind of do.
Maybe they should change therapy to uplifting, or just change the name, bro.
The uplifting session.
Yeah.
Something, you know what I mean? Hopefully you guys can come up with a new word.
Session.
Because I feel like over time on TV, especially, you see, you were just talking about, you see someone across from you with their legs crossed with a book in their hand. Could you say that one more time for me, please? Right. Yeah, okay. Could you see? So what made you do that? Write down. Right. It feels like it's more of like an interview, like
exactly.
Then okay, well, maybe you should have done this instead. Like throw away the book, you know. Let's just have a
conversation.
What happened that day? Why did you go to this aspect? Let me tell you something. Maybe you could have done this instead of just okay, now you're just a statistic. Put you on a wall right here.
So when you were 5, let's take it back to when you were 5 years old. Right. Where did it start? Like, bruh,
I didn't remember.
No.
Yo, listen, cut it out, man.
It doesn't need to go that far. Right. Yeah, no. Doesn't need to go out. And I feel like, especially with TV shows push it. I feel like they push it a little too much because I feel like the message behind it is good. Like they wanted to like show to you that, okay, this is actually something that people do, you know, and they're just trying to like, okay, this is not that bad. But I feel like they do it in a way where it kind of like it degrades you, because you're just like, do I need this now? Because I don't know what levels of therapy I need, because I play basketball and I'm doing fine, right?
Straight up.
And I feel like if you go through that trauma, you know, you go do this, and then you go see on the TV, these people need other people to go and help you. Sometimes that's just like, okay, well, do I need someone now? I mean, it just gets to a point where it's just, now, am I the problem? Right. You know what I mean? I feel like we just gotta cut that out. Especially, oh man, I can tell you so many times about, my grandmother. Talk about she would talk to her parents as therapy. That would just be her therapy. And she would talk to no one else. So she talked to her siblings. Right. And that wouldn't even be therapy. That would just be vent time. Yeah. That would just be vent time. Just get it off the chest. Right. And then they would just leave it, you know? And I feel like that leaving part, sometimes on TV they attack that part and say like, maybe you shouldn't leave it. Maybe you should go deeper into it. But I feel like the damage has already been done to the word therapy. So vent session. Vent session should be the name. Vent session should be the name.
I like that.
Let's go to my vent session. Because that's what you do. When I sit in there with Greg, that's what I do.
Just vent.
Okay.
So I have another question that I wrote down here. So actually, before I even go into that, this has been a movement for the past how many years? How many years have you guys been doing this for?
Officially, it started 2 years ago. but we've been on the ground
for
about a year.
For about a year. Okay.
Yeah, but it's a 5-year project.
Yeah.
It started off in Jane and Finch and Rexdale.
Yeah.
So there's a Towards Peace in Rexdale. They're supposed to have right now, I believe it's supposed to be Mount Olive and Jamestown, just like it's the north side and the south side.
Yeah.
And then in September they're thinking about bringing it to Mount Vernon, which is Scarborough.
Okay.
So based off of what we did, they're now seeing is okay, it's actually working.
Yeah.
Cool. They're now taking this blueprint and bringing it over to Scarborough. So we can actually say, for the first time ever, we are the faces of Towards Peace for like we are the faces, basically the first bunch that, and for our side, like I can say I'm like the first VDW girl of VDW on both sides. So
that's dope.
I was
dope,
the first ever girl VDW.
And hopefully you'll see it in all the priority neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Like this could be something that could really help really decrease the violence, man.
No, I feel like the more people that are involved, I feel like the more it would expand and then grow throughout the city or the communities around the GTA, showing you that, come on, I know you're in this sticky situation, but there are other people to help you, there are other people to guide you. You don't have to do everything by yourself.
Right.
I feel like some people think that in life they needed to do this by themselves because that's all they know. All they know is just doing it by themselves. But sometimes you always need that one extra person. So
that's a fact. Because I can't be a program lead without my VDWs, right?
Yeah, of course.
The Northside can't do what Northside does if my VDW doesn't do what she has to do over there, or Southside can't, do what they got to do if my VW ain't straight. You feel me? So I just believe that because they have the love of their community and they know they want change in their community, makes it even more easier. Like to him, when he goes in the south side, it's like, I'm chilling with my peoples. But at the same time, he's chilling with his peoples. He's still getting the information where people on the side will come to him and say, yo, this youth needs help. Or this person will come to him and say, yo, Chris, I need, Woods, can I get this? You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just, like I said, having that connection with the community is a big thing, like, of course, big, like, and I'm so happy that I have 2 VDWs that are straight on both sides, like they're connected in the neighborhood. So if something happens, or if we know first, we'll know every majority of everything. But it's like you get me. So that's the way I look at it.
Facts. Same.
Yeah.
I can't with Chris, dog.
Yeah.
I'm here drinking beer water.
So is there any one message that you would hope for the people to take away from this, or one lesson from TO Wards?
It's Towards Peace. They will kill you.
They will kill me if I say
not kill you, TO? Literally stop. But yeah, it's Towards Peace.
Towards Peace.
Towards Peace. So is there one thing that you guys have that you want someone to know that's watching this right now or that's listening to this?
That's a good question.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid. Like, I get it. Some of y'all have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Our job is to help you get through the gate. Like, we're trying to make you a better you than you were yesterday. Yeah. You were okay yesterday. We're trying to make you great today. So if you need help, no matter what it is, holla at us. Like, don't be afraid. Like, it's okay, because sometimes guys feel like because they're in the game for so long, there's no switching up. My guy, you could switch up anytime you want. You could come out of the game anytime you want. You understand what I mean? You can balance. Cause like I've had guys come up to me and say, yo, dog, I don't know, boom, like, I'm making X, Y, and Z every single day. How you want me in a program that they're paying me every 2 weeks? I'm making a change every single day. Yeah. So trying to convince those guys to come out of the game, you have to have some type of initiative or something for them to want to come out. So like I said, if you don't have great VDWs that are out there doing what they got to do, the man them won't. They're putting their trust in Chris, because they know Chris comes clutch, and if he can't come clutch, it's for a reason. You get me? So it's one of those things where it's just like, if you guys need the help and you guys see us in the hood, ask us. If we can't help you, we guarantee we'll have another resource that we're rocking with that can help you. So just because Towards Peace may not be able to help you, maybe New Narrative, which is our another program we have, maybe they can help you. Maybe Black Creek can help you, or Rexdale can help you. we have resources, so don't be afraid to ask for help. And that goes for not only the youth but their families as well, because we're here to support your families as well.
And I would say towards peace, we kind of transform followers into leaders. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. Look at him.
Right? So I say that to say there's a lot of followers in all communities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they're always following that one or two individuals that got that sauce.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what we're trying to do is provide that sauce for the followers eventually, and they would in turn into a leader themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Towards Peace provides that platform to do so. And at the VDW, that's what we're trying to really push out there. Just like, yo, man, not everybody can be a leader off the jump. You know what I mean? But you could definitely take those positive steps forward into doing that legally.
Legally, he's
legal. I swear
adding
that's his
legally.
word.
That's
It's just like when you guys go into the restaurant. There's different sauces that you guys put on your rice. There's oxtail gravy. There's curry goat gravy. There's the red sauce. There's all different type of sauces that you can put on. When you go into the restaurant, it's not only one gravy they have.
Exactly.
Not only one sauce.
Yeah.
And out here, there's not only one sauce. Everybody's dripping some type of different type of sauce. You just need to find out what your sauce is and move with that. Because I guarantee somebody's gonna rock with that and want to, like, you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Want to rock with that. Like,
Exactly.
yo, dog, I mess with the Grand Slammer still. So guess what?
Right.
I like that hat still. So guess what? That's his sauce. His sauce is his Grand Slammers. But guess what? He's now sharing his sauce with others in a positive way, though. You know what? All right, come to a photo shoot. He's known for doing that. I'm sorry, but I had to do it.
It's all
You
good.
get me? He takes youth. He
Yeah.
takes youth. They'll come to me, oh, Chris, can I get a sweater? All right, cool. You can get a sweater, but come to my photo shoot real quick. Take
Yeah.
a couple pics, blah, 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 blah. And right there, he's letting them know, yo, you guys want some of my sauce? Cool. But I need you to come over here, step out from the streets for a little bit and come take 1-2 photos. Now what happens is now every single time he does a photo shoot, he can reach out to those youth, take them off the street.
Right.
For a couple of hours, they're inside the vision room taking pictures, professional pictures, having the time of their life, and understanding that there's something outside of the hood. And that's what a lot of these youths have to understand. There is things outside of Jane and Finch.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? Don't let Jane and Finch define you. Don't become a statistic. Both of us could have become a statistic. I could have been pregnant by the time I was 16, as everybody would say in the hood. Like, he could have been a drug dealer or a gangbanger, whatever, as they call us. That's a statistic. But we looked at it like, nah, we're changing the narrative for that. That's why our generation is so important for the younger kids.
Yeah.
Facts. Followers to leaders, man. That's
Basically, I was never a follower. I couldn't do it. I can't.
You don't seem like a follower.
No, I think it's like I said, it starts with the home, right?
Yeah.
The home that I lived in, there was no followers in there. All the women that I grew up with, they were all leaders. Like, they didn't depend on nobody, no men, no nothing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Of course, no.
Me just looking at the ladies that I had in my family, they showed me, you're not about to bring no pick-me in here at the age of 15. None of that.
No.
So all of them either went to college, university, had degrees, did things with their life. So I didn't want to be the one out of all of them to be, as they call, what list, but
No, a certain level of independence breeds power. I think that's definitely. I feel like there's a healthy type of independent and then there's a negative type of independent. I feel like it's definitely good to make sure that you have that positive independence so that when it's only up to you, you can deal with it. But when you need someone to lean on, then you wouldn't feel like you're out of energy because you've been dealing with it, but your entire self.
And I don't know why you're not talking about your brother's success story. His brother's success story himself.
Definitely.
You have a quick one too? You want to say about it?
I mean, my broski, he definitely was in the streets for a while.
Yeah.
While I was in school at Concordia U, came back home. Told him he can't be stressing out my moms, and long story short, he told me he liked to do clothing. He wanted to get into fashion. He had a clothing line called Grand Slammers. So I just connected him with my guy who makes logos and stuff, and they connected for a bit. Grand Slammers originally started off block letters, Grand Slammers, and then turned into this logo right here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Off of a conversation, and then the rest was history. Kept them kind of in line and engaging the community and doing basketball tournaments and really pushing the brand amongst the young people, man. So super proud of him. Yeah, definitely my first success story would be my brother, you know. So we're just out here just trying to empower, man,
and change lives.
Yeah, I mean, once again, turn followers into leaders, man.
Yes.
That's
and we could do that at the KO tournament this year. Make sure you guys pull up.
Towards
Peace will be a part of that. So will YAAACE. Get your basketball teams ready. It's 3-on-3 basketball
3-on-3
tournament, $25 per team, not per player.
Right.
And it goes towards the KO scholarship. So we're gonna award one female and one male a scholarship that day too as well. So and Grand Slammers is also part of that as well.
Yes, sir. We working, man. We working
hard.
All right, well, I think that about wraps it up.
There you go. All
right, thank you for this episode. Thank you for watching. We're here with, of course, Blackwood and Brooklyn again. Thank you for showing out.